Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my Xbox collection. It's kind of strange because after making hundreds of videos here on YouTube, I've never shared my Xbox collection. And that's crazy because I really enjoyed the Xbox. I honestly did. Lots of great games on it. So that's why you see this big beast sitting here. I don't keep my original Xbox games out. They are stored in this bin right here. So let me gather up the strength to move this beast, and let's get into the collection. I guess I'll start with the game that made me want an Xbox to begin with, and that's Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. I got my Xbox Christmas of 2002, and I think this game had just came out. It was a fairly new release, but I tell you, I saw ads for this game, and I just knew I had to buy an Xbox. At that time, it was only exclusive to the Xbox. And I had a PlayStation 2, but I wanted to play it so bad, and it was so worth it. The game was fantastic. To this day, I still enjoy the Splinter Cell series. Sticking with the Splinter Cell series, I do have Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, which was fantastic. And I also used to have Chaos Theory, but if I'm not mistaken, I let my cousin borrow that game. I think it was my cousin, and yeah, it's probably gone. Who knows where it is by now. So one of these days, I'll get around to getting that in my collection again. But all three games I thought were fantastic. There's another Ubisoft series during that generation that I absolutely adored, and that is Prince of Persia. So we have here Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, the sequel, Prince of Persia, Warrior Within, and then the last one to round out the trilogy, Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones. I just loved the first one, Sands of Time and The Two Thrones. Warrior Within wasn't my thing. I didn't really like it. It was just too dark. Didn't care for the metal that was in the game, the music. Didn't like it at all. But, you know, altogether, three great games. And I kind of wish that Ubisoft didn't forget about the series. Really dig Prince of Persia. This is such a random game, but I spent so much time playing it. Top Spin. This game was a blast. I don't play tennis. I watch tennis sometimes on TV, but I love tennis games, and this one was fantastic. I spent a lot of time playing through this game and also playing online as well. I think this is the game that I spent the most time playing online, which was great back then. Mark Echo's Getting Up, Contents Under Pressure. I think this game is so underrated. Not a lot of people talk about it, but it's pretty great. I might have a little bias to it because it revolves around like an urban hip-hop type of culture. You know, there's graffiti, there's rap music in it. It's pretty dope. Really enjoyed the game, and the combat was fun too. It's more or less an action game, beating people up, and you're doing graffiti at every chance that you can get. Cool game. Then we also have here a game that I actually broke my controller. I had a real cool see-through blue Xbox controller, and I broke it while I was playing this game. It's Ninja Gaiden. You guys know this shit is hard, like, honestly, and I think I got close to like almost beating it, but I couldn't get past the boss, and I just flung my controller across the room and broke it. And I think that was really the last time I did something like that. There was just so much rage, but that rage only came out when I was playing this game. So hard, but such a great game. X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2, Rise of the Apocalypse. Really good action RPGs set around X-Men universe. Conquer Live and Reloaded. I've never actually completed this version of the game, but I have completed Conker's Bad Fur Day for the Nintendo 64, which is basically what this game is. It's basically Conker's Bad Fur Day. If I'm not mistaken, it might be a little censored too compared to the original. But updated graphics, it's a beautiful looking game. And also this version of the game included some online play, which I thought was different. Panzer Dragoon Orta. I've never actually even played this game. I got it for super cheap at the flea market though. I think like $2 around the time the Xbox was phasing out. So I just picked it up. Next up are two Xbox games that everybody loves. Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 2. This is the limited collector's edition. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first collector's edition I ever purchased, and it really holds up. Amazing collector's edition. It's quite simple. It's just a steelbook case, but the quality is what matters. This thing is so heavy. But two great games. I actually really enjoyed them because my husband doesn't play video games, but he was really interested in Halo, and we actually played through this together. So that was a lot of fun. I know for sure Halo 2, but I think Halo we switched back and forth. But we completed both games together. It was a lot of fun. Something that usually doesn't happen ever, but I'll always remember that. So these two games are really special to me. We have the limited edition of Jade Empire. This is the first BioWare game I actually played through and completed, and I really enjoyed it. It had a really cool storyline. Forza Motorsport, fantastic racing game all around. I spent a lot of time playing the career, a lot of time playing online, but I absolutely adored the fact that this game had custom soundtracks. That was a big thing for me back then. So, you know, I just spent hours playing while listening to the music I wanted to listen to. Thought that was awesome. Black. I really think it's an underrated game. Another underrated gem, guys. Fantastic first-person shooter. Just balls to the walls action. Lots of shooting going on. And I love the fact that it's made by Criterion, the people that make the Burnout games. It's crazy. They made a really good first-person shooter. The only other series that my husband was interested in was Max Payne. So we have here Max Payne and the sequel, Max Payne, The Fall of Max Payne. I actually really enjoyed Max Payne more than the sequel. But just all around good stuff. Lots of running and gunning and crazy story. Really sad story, matter of fact. But that dream sequence, wow. How frustrating was that? Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. Never actually played this game, but I've heard great things about it. That's why I don't have the sequel, because I've never even played this game. And I got it at a flea market as well for super cheap, so I just picked it up. Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Microsoft Game Studios really needs to consider going back to games like this. It's developed by Rare. It's just all around lighthearted action game. You know, you're stuck in this mansion and you're basically fighting off ghouls and ghosts. There's some light puzzle solving in there as well, but lots of fun. And in the same breath, we have another fun game. I actually really enjoyed this one, Psychonauts, put out by Tim Schafer. Fantastic game. One of my favorite games of that generation. Just great characters. Love the story. It's just really something different. We've got a little combo pack here, Sega GT 2002, which is a racing game I didn't particularly like, but on the flip side, we have Jet Set Radio Future, which I just absolutely enjoyed. Lots of fun, man. Again, we're going back to the graffiti and the cool music. Just skating around, listening to the music, tagging some things up. Hella fun. Here's a game I don't particularly hear a lot of people talking about. It's Call of Cthulhu, Dark Corner of the Earth. It's put out by Bethesda, which is awesome. It's more or less a survival horror type of game. I didn't play too much of it, but it seemed really interesting from what I can remember. And then we have also, in the same vein, Doom 3, which is classic. Really don't have to say too much about this game, except for the fact that it scared the mess out of me and frustrated me as well. Time Splitters 2, which is an awesome first-person shooter. Never played the first one, though. And then we have another first-person shooter that I didn't particularly care for that much, Far Cry Instincts. When the original Far Cry came out, it was only exclusive to the PC, and I didn't have a PC that could run it that well. So when this came out, I was like, oh sweet, I'll be able to play it, and I just didn't like what I played of it. But, you know, I love all the other Far Cry games. I love Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, you know, great Far Cry games, but I really couldn't get into this one. I do enjoy my Rockstar games, but I couldn't get into Manhunt for some reason. You know, I've kind of desensitized myself from like blood and gore and all that other type of stuff. Doesn't really bother me, but there was just something about Manhunt that creeped me the hell out, and I couldn't really get into it. So I didn't play much of it. But a Rockstar game that I did enjoy to the fullest, The Warriors. Classic movie, fantastic movie. Gosh, I've seen this movie so many times. And when I heard that they were going to put a game out, basically focusing on that movie, I got excited and it was awesome. Basically a brawler done up to the fullest. It was great. Shenmue 2. It's kind of funny I'm showing this game considering the fact that there's a Kickstarter out for the third one, but I've never actually played this game and I've only played a bit of the original game on the Dreamcast. And then we have here The Thing, which was a good survival horror game. A lot of people, when people think about survival horror games, they really don't talk about The Thing, but this game was kind of creepy as well. The movie definitely scared the hell out of me when I saw it years ago. Dreamfall: The Longest Journey, which is basically the sequel to The Longest Journey, the PC game, which was fantastic. This game is an adventure game as well, but it's more or less more of an action adventure game. Really great story. There's a third game that's out on Steam right now. It's only on PCs, which kind of sucks. Not a PC gamer, but it's only on Steam. I'm hoping that Sony will pick it up and put it on the PlayStation 4 because they really like, you know, those indie games. So I'm hoping I get a chance to play this sometime soon. The third one sometime soon. And then we have another action adventure game here. One of my favorite games of this generation, Indigo Prophecy. It's put out by Quantum Dream, the same people that did Heavy Rain. So you kind of already know what you're getting into here. But I thought Indigo Prophecy had an amazing story. I just remember playing it and being just so into the story. It was a really good experience. The Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay. Such a dark first-person shooter, loosely revolved around the Riddick movies, but it was a super dark game. And I also remember it being super atmospheric, like lots of atmosphere throughout the game, and the sound design was really good as well. Mercenaries: Playground of Destruction. Not much to say about this one. Running and gunning, blowing shit up. Like, honestly, it was just a lot of fun to play. SSX 3. You guys should already know what the SSX games are all about. This is the only one that I got on the Xbox. All the other ones were on the PlayStation 2. But a lot of fun. Love those extreme sports. You might think I'm crazy, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer is the business. Guys, this is such a good brawler. I don't know if I might be a little biased because I enjoyed the TV series so much, but I actually really had a lot of fun with it. The combat is on point. You know, I'm not ashamed to say I like the series. Total Overdose, my goodness. A Gunslinger's Tale in Mexico, which is really a lot of fun. It's basically an open world sandbox type of game. Something on around the same lines of Just Cause. PsyOps: The Mindgate Conspiracy. Really enjoyed this game. Put out by Midway, which you don't see a lot of nowadays, but they used to put out some bangers during this generation. Really enjoyed using the powers in PsyOps. And then we have here Fable, where it all started. As far as the series goes, I didn't enjoy this game as much as Fable 2. Still my favorite game in the series. But this is like the beginning of it. I mean, it definitely isn't as refined as the sequel. But, you know, really good RPG. I've made it to the last couple of games in the collection. We have here Mad Dash Racing, which is a lighthearted, basically kart racer. And when I say lighthearted, that doesn't mean that it's easy. It more or less kind of doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a lot of fun. It's cool. Deus Ex: Invisible War. I haven't even played this game yet. I've never played the game actually, but it's the newest addition to my collection. Around the time the last Deus Ex came out, I picked that up. Thief: Deadly Shadows. I picked this up when I picked up Deus Ex, so I haven't played Thief: Deadly Shadows either. But I have played Dark Watch, which was really interesting. A game put out by Capcom. Really fun first-person shooter. Kind of like a dark Western, you know, shooter. Like, honestly, it's crazy. Definitely, if you guys have never played this game, you might want to consider it. It's a lot of fun, and it's different. We don't get a lot of games like this now, you know, and I would love to see something different like this on one of the newer consoles. So that's my Xbox collection. It's not complete. There still are a few games that I want to pick up. I want to pick up the Otage games, throw in a little Voodoo Vince, maybe Blinks the Cat. There still are a few other games out there that I would love to add to the collection. But this is it. Lots of great memories playing the Xbox. Love the exclusives. It seemed like they were more willing to take a chance. You know, Microsoft was more willing to take a chance and put different types of games out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll check you next time.